All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to be super, super quick because I'm just doing my hair, but I just can't let go of a message that God gave me earlier. And because I can't let it go, I know that God is about to do something. And it's because of everything you suffered. Because because of everything you suffered, God is literally about to elevate you. Literally, he's about to elevate you. I know that I'm talking to somebody right now. And I was talking to God on my way home, and that's how I got the epiphany about Texas and this and that, right? So I was like, God, if you want me out there, you'll have the provision, you'll have the people, this and that, right? But as I was talking to God about it, right, he began to tell me, suffer not a wish to live. So I'm thinking, what does a witch have to do with Texas and me being obedient if you're calling me to Texas, right? And he simply said again, suffer not a wish to live. And I'm like, okay. So as I pulled into my driveway, I heard, what is it, baby? Yes. So as I pulled in the driveway, my son distracted me, y'all. I'm sorry. So as I pulled into the driveway, I heard it again. Let me take a look at it out. And it's basically suffer not a wish to live. And I was like, okay, God, I don't know who did what's happening. And then it was basically like God already took care of the enemy. What we think is going to be a battle is already won. So as God was talking to me, I was like, what battle? Like, God, I'm thinking like, a lot of us are walking into seasons of blessings and like anointing and all this stuff, right? And God is like, you don't know the battle that I've been doing behind the scenes or whatever, right? So I'm like, okay. And then he showed me Facebook, I didn't share it on y'all, but TikTok, I shared it. Last night there was lightning silently over my house. And I was like, that's just so weird that it's nowhere else. It's just literally over my house. Nowhere else, just over my house. And it was just lighting up and it was just so quiet. God said, I was fighting the battles in the silent. See, you don't know what people be thinking about you. You don't know people's heart. You don't know people's intentions, but God does. God knows man's intentions. God knows man's heart. God knows everything about man. So God ain't finna just have you out here any kind of way, period. So God knows everything there is about man. So last night I was trying to sleep, but I just kept thinking about the lightning that was over my house and only over my house. Like I'm like, why nobody else's house? Why is the lightning just right here? Right? So I'm talking to God and he was like, because that's where the warfare is. He says a lot of people have silent warfare, and this is why I'm coming in. This is why I'm literally getting ready to step in. Because the devil been busy secretly, but so have I. He says, I had to do it at midnight. Now, I was outside around midnight. He says, I had to do it at midnight to let the devil know that he ain't won nothing. That because he think he's sneaking, I'm right there. He says, suffer not a witch to live. See, you don't know how powerful you are. You don't know how big your name is because you don't see it. You might be like me. I work a 9 to 5, 9 to 7 every single day. Every single day. And I minister and all this stuff. And I'm a mama and I'm a wife. So no, I don't see the accolades that other people see. I don't see me as this Pastor Lindaria as everybody else see because I work 24/7. But the devil sees what you got. The devil sees the anointing you carry. The devil sees all of these things. So because you're kind of tone deaf right now because you're just doing the mundane tasks. The devil's like, nah, you got a big calling on your life. Let me go ahead and try to stop you, i.e. the car breaking down, i.e. the man leaving you. What is it, baby? It might be one in the front seat by that steering wheel. But all these things happening in your life and you just like, I don't understand why this is happening. I don't understand why they doing this to me. I was so good to them, this, and that. But God is saying you don't understand who you are yet. But in a minute, you will. In a minute, you'll understand who you are. He's like, I'm about to start doing it for you. You're not even gonna be ready for it. Like, you literally gonna be minding your business, and people gonna be like, oh, I know you. I know you. I know you. You don't know who you are. And that's the beauty of it. That's the humbleness of it. The fact that you don't know who you are. You don't really know what you carry, because you really can push it. When people come at you, when people be acting crazy with you and all this stuff, you really can go to God for real. And God will literally stop what he doing, get off his throne and come handle them people. But because you so humble, you like, God, I ain't even worried about it. I ain't even worried about it. God, it's whatever. I'll find another job. I'll make it on my own. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there like, I ain't even worried about it. And God's like, nah, but I am. God's like, but I am. I'm worried about it. Why? Because you ain't going to stand up for yourself like you need to. Why? Because you ain't going to call on me like you need to. He says, but don't worry, I'm there before you even call. See, I'm concerned with the little things with you. I'm concerned with the little things with you. I ain't worried about it. He says, I'm going to get them in due season, because you ain't worried about it. It's the fact that you'll let people treat you bad and go about your business as if they never hurt you. He says, that's why I got to stand up for you. He says, because they not just going to keep getting away with it. They not just going to keep doing what they want to do to you. That's not what's going to be the case. That's not the case. God is saying, I'm about to handle it, because they not finna be doing whatever they want to do to you. Nah, because you are a reflection of me. And God said, I'm not going to let them play with me. So I'm sure not going to let them play with you. They better find something safe to do, because playing around in these God streets going to get them messed up. I'm not finna play with them. He says, you can play with them, but I'm not finna play with them. Not one day, not 1 second. I'm not finna play with them. Yep. And this time, they done barked up a tree. They done barked up the wrong tree. They done messed with the wrong one. They so used to getting away with stuff, stealing people's stuff, talking about people, all this stuff. They so used to doing whatever they want to do and seeing no consequences behind it. But this time, they're about to see the repercussions of their actions. They thought that putting voodoo on you and all kind of stuff. I'm from the deep south, so y'all might not believe in that, but baby, I done seen some things in this lifetime. And anywho, they think that because they sprinkle a little sprinkle dust on you, that they gonna do what they want to do. They think because they done stuck a little needle in a doggone doll, that they gonna stop you. God said, ain't none of that's gonna stop what I got going on. He says all it's gonna do is put a delay in them, because I'm gonna have to spin the block and come get them for messing with you. He says, yes, I'm spinning the block on every witch, on every warlock, on every hex, all this. He's talking about, I'm spinning the block on all them people. He says, I'm not going to miss one. I'm not going to miss one. You might not believe in it. You might be like, oh, that's superstitious, da, 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 da. God says, I know what my people are capable of. He says, and the devil fights dirty. So if he can go to a witch doctor, if he can go to a voodoo doctor, if he can go to the root man, if he gonna do it. Down there in the bayou swamps, down there in the water, down there. God says, if the devil can, he will. You don't get the devil an inch, because baby, he gonna take the whole mile. You don't ever get a devil no inch, because he gonna make sure he take the whole mile. No, devil, we don't play these games with you. God says, I'm not gonna play with no devil this season. Suffer not a witch to live. Suffer not a witch to live. So when you start hearing about the downfall of these people, just know that they was out here working against you, going to these root doctors, doing the burying your drawers in mayonnaise containers, putting in their front yard. You wonder why you can't leave this person alone. All this stuff, baby. I'm from the South. I'm talking about, I done seen it all. When people desperate to stop you, when they feel like you're doing better than them, baby, they'll do whatever they can. They'll do whatever they can to try to stop you. But no witchcraft, no root doctor, no voodoo doctor, none of that is going to stop what God has for you. None of it. You better know who your God is this season, because God not playing. And I'm sitting here like, God, okay, but again, God, what does that got to do with Texas? Like, I'm talking to my sister, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to throw this out there. Them people might say yeah, them people might say no. I don't know if they rocking with me like that, because I done seen people, they get off TikTok, they get off social media, and they have these events, and then people be standing out there, and they be by themselves, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be looking foolish out here, God. They're not finna say they rocking with me to not spend my money, and that they don't show up. And God says it's bigger in Texas, Landaria. It's bigger in Texas, Lindaria. It's bigger in Texas, Lindaria. So I'm sitting here and I said, okay, God, if it's your will, it's your bill. All right, I'll bite. And then he said it again. Suffer not a witch to live. Before the end of this month, and that's a couple days, the witch is about to be exposed. I would say witch is because you never know who talking about you. You never know who really don't like you until, some people be around you 24/7 until you make them mad. And when you make them mad, you see who they really are. You see they hate your daddy, your dog, your dead grandmammy, all that. They hate all that. And you never knew you was sitting up under them people. They couldn't stand you. They couldn't stand you. But you didn't know until they got mad. God says your success is about to make them mad. And now you're about to see who they really were the whole time. They was always like this, but it was disguised because they had to pretend to like you. But see, they liked you when you were broken. They liked you when you ain't had nothing. They liked you when you were the perfect victim. When they can be the superhero, when they can come in and pay a bill, when they can come in and say a word, when they can be useful. But now you got your relationship built up with God, and now ain't no need for them. So now they can't stand the ground you walk on, because how dare you do better than them? How dare you do better than them? God's about to show people's true character. You're about to see some people break. You're about to see some people crying, wondering why you were not them. I had this friend one time. I'm going to give you an example before I get off. I had this friend one time. We were riding in a car. We weren't going nowhere particular, wasn't doing nothing special. She looked over at me and she said, well, Lindaria, you are pretty. And I'm like, where did that come from? And I said, huh? And she said, I mean, for a black girl, like, she was brown skin, she was high yellow or whatever. And she was like, for a black girl, like you are pretty. And I said, okay, but where did that come from? She was like, I don't know. I just, you are pretty. And I'm like, okay. And then she just was like, yeah, for a black girl. What you mean for a black girl? What you mean for a black girl? Oh, okay. That's how you've been feeling. You feeling because you high yellow that you better than somebody. But that's not the case. So I knew that day that we weren't going to be friends no more. I knew that day we weren't going to be friends no more, because that's how you've been feeling about me whole time. Whole time. You've been sitting around me, eating with me, living with me, talking with me, walking with me. But whole time, I'm just pretty for a black girl. You never know somebody's intentions. You never know how somebody feels about you. You never really know until you know. Until you know. I'm telling you, these people be secretly hating you, but it'll be in your face every single day. Every single day they'll be in your face. Every single day. Mm-hmm. You walking with the enemy. You talking with the enemy. You feeding the enemy. I'm talking about all that. All that. And she was living with me. That's the kicker. She was living with me. Mm-hmm. Walking and talking. Walking and talking. You never know who somebody is until God had them slip up and reveal it. There's some revelation about to take place. There's some revelation about to take place, because some people can't stand you. Some people can't stand you. And envy is a dangerous game, because my mom always said a scary person to kill you, and an envious person will too. They don't want you to do better than them, because the spotlight not gonna be on them no more. But God has you protected, and it don't matter who come up against you. It don't matter when the snake in them come out. Just know that you already protected. Just know that God about to do his big one with you. They're about to be watching from the sidelines on how God can take a nobody and turn him into a somebody. They're about to watch from the sidelines that God can do things instantaneously overnight. They're about to watch from the sidelines about how God favors you. They're about to watch from the sidelines. I'm telling you, somebody's glow up is about to be real. Somebody's glow up is about to be real. All I kept seeing last week was 1.5 million, 1.5, 1.5. I don't know if your platform finna go viral and have 1.5 million. I don't even know if you're playing a lottery, although I don't dibble and dabble in no lottery. But all I know is I see 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Something about to happen with 1.5. The week before I seen 888, like 800, 8,000, 800,088 followers. That's what I saw last week. Now I see 1.5. And I'm like, okay, God, you're about to do your big one on somebody. They've been putting in the hard work. They've been putting in the hard work. The key word I kept seeing was consistency. They were very consistent in everything they do. And in this world, it's hard to get, accolades if you ain't doing something gutter or ratchet or shaking your behind or having some kind of controversy. That's why you see all these content creators falling out with each other, having a secret beef so their pages can get ramped up, and then you'll hear them bragging later about they got a paycheck, they got a paycheck, they got a paycheck. But at what cost? No honor, no integrity, none of that. You just want somebody money. You want to be labeled. Be careful on selling yourself for $1. Be careful for selling yourself for $1. Don't sell yourself for no dollar. Now you labeled as messy. Now you label because you sold yourself. There's many ways to prostitute yourself. A lot of these rappers and singers are prostituting themselves for $1, for accolades, for a like, for a comment, for a share. No integrity, no honor. Whatever you do, you gonna make it because you got honor, because you got integrity. That's what's about to happen with you, because you got honor, you got integrity. You got humbleness. You're not finna sell yourself for no dollar for somebody to get some likes. Whatever you do, you're gonna do the hard way. You're gonna do the hard way. I always look at stuff, especially with myself, because I look at, like, okay, let's say my TikTok, it got like 367,000, but it got almost 30 million likes. So people watching me, people liking it, but they don't want to follow. And that's cool because that just shows you who's rocking with you and who ain't. But also the fact that God is going to do it authentically, that he's not going to just let anybody follow, because anybody can follow and all of a sudden you can be global. But God is saying, I'm weeding it out and I'm doing it this way because I want the right people to follow you. I want the right people to follow you. He says, my sheep know my voice, and the stranger they will not follow. The other people, they got all the wrong people following them. That's why they got all that controversy in their comments. And their comments is like a doggone show itself, because they let the wrong people follow them. And they got them just because they had the hype. Now they looking for you to be the same person they follow when you had that beef. And now you can't keep that beef up. That's why you keep saying more beef and more beef and more beef up. Because now you got that persona that you got to hold. Versus myself, well, I'm just myself. I'm in here looking like a bald-headed boy braiding right now, doing some little braids in my head. And that's cool, because this is me. No drama, no nothing. This is me. Take me or leave me. That's it. And I ain't got to worry about keeping up with the Joneses, because all my hair I be doing myself. Barely, really do I go to the doggone people, because I ain't trying to spend no money. I got kids. I got a house. I got mortgage. I ain't got time to play with nobody. But when you put yourself out there, when you prostitute yourself, the clients go want to be paid. They go want more, and they go want more, and they go want more. They go want so much more. That's why people get burnt out and tired, and they crash publicly. They crash publicly because they're trying to keep up with a persona that ain't them. God is saying the way I'm going to do you is going to be authentic, so you don't crash and you don't burn. This is who you are. This is who you are. That's it. It might take you longer to get to the top. And your top is not their top. My top is not your top. It might take you a little bit longer, but understand this. You're doing it with integrity. You're doing it with honor. It might be slow, but remember, the tortoise never won the race. The tortoise never won the race. I'm not the tortoise, I'm sorry. The hare never won the race. The tortoise did. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. While other people's running fast. Other people's running fast trying to get there. You take your time. You build your content. You do what you got to do to elevate you. at your pace, and you watch how God elevates you. You watch how God come into your life. Take your time. You ain't got nothing but time on your hands. Time on your side. Time work for you. You don't work for time. Time work for you. And you watch how God work that thing out. You watch how God get ready to work it out. Take your time. Build your content. Put your name out there for yourself. Be you. And you just watch what God do. Take your time. Build. Build your business. Build your marriage. Build your family. Build your job. Take your time. Don't be moved by them people. Don't look at what them people got as temporarily. What you're building is going to have longevity attached to it. What you're building is going to have longevity attached to it. Take your time. Take your time. You are not in a rush. Who are you competing with? The you versus you yesterday. And that's it. Take your time and let God work that thing out. Take your time and build. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. They wouldn't prove it to you. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. They would never prove it to you. You be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. You keep building and you keep building, even when it look like nobody buying. You keep building. You keep writing that book even when nobody buying it. You keep singing that song even nobody ain't watching. You keep rapping that rap even though ain't nobody buying. You keep uploading them videos. You keep doing it. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. I'm telling you, it's going to pay off. Take your time. Don't rush. Even if you did it 10 years ago, upload it again. It wasn't right 10 years ago, but it might be right this year. Upload it again. Spin the block on that thing. Take your time. So what? You only got 2 followers right now. 2 is better than none. Talk to them 2 like they're a million and watch what happens. Talk to them 2 followers like they're a million. You only got 200 views. Okay. 200 people took the time out their day to look at your video. Give them something to watch. So what? You ain't got 10,000 followers. Look at them people crashing out that got the 10,000 followers, showing their life on live 5-6 hours a day, showing they behind. So what? You ain't got 10,000. God's guarding you from crashing out like them people. Don't try to be like them people. You ain't ready for that yet. They ain't ready either, but they got the wrong people hyping them up. And it's bad to have wrong people in your company. It's bad to have wrong people in your company. On there begging for dollars. On there yelling at their followers. It's bad to be around bad characters. It's bad to be around bad company. It's bad. You want to be around wise people doing wise things. You get on this thing, you say what God tells you, you promote your business, and you get off. Ain't no need to be on live for 3, 4, 5 hours. Ain't no need. Them people don't need to be in your house. Them people don't need to be in your business. None of that. You invite the devil in, he go come crash out. He go come crash out. Ain't no need. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now you wonder why CPS getting called on you. Because you was on there for 6 hours neglecting your kids. You wonder why them people calling your job. Because you don't let them people in your life. Take your time. Build your business. Take your time. Sing your song. Take your time. Rap your song. Take your time. Write your book. Take your time. Do your makeup. Do your content. Do what God told you to do, whatever it is. Do your ministry. Take your time. What you rushing for? What you rushing for? Who you competing against? Social media, it change every day. It change every day. The algorithm, the RPMs, the monetization, it change every day. Take your time. Take your time. And be grateful with the little. I'm grateful for all 367,000 I got. All y'all. I pray I'm doing good with what I'm doing. You know? Because ain't nobody got to be here. Y'all ain't got to be on live with me right now. Y'all can be anywhere. Y'all can be anywhere minding y'all whole business. But y'all right here. You appreciate who appreciates you. You love who loves you. You don't talk bad to people. Yeah, man, come on. This is just common things. Maybe because I'm from the South. It's just a respect that you got for people. You ain't gotta be nasty to nobody. You take your time because it's you versus you. And understand that what God is doing is going to be monumental. It's going to be so big that the world is going to be talking about it. Once you take your time and you map it out and you write it out and you envision that thing, you sit at nighttime. What I do, I sit at nighttime after I get out of the shower. I lay on my bed in the pitch black and I close my eyes and I envision where I want to go, what my future finna be, what I see, and I sit with it and I don't forget it. And I close my eyes again before I go to bed after I talk to God and I envision it and I see it because it's coming. Because it's coming and it's coming quick. You envision that thing. You write that out. You let God do what he does and watch what happens. It's coming and it's coming like a locomotive train, hot and heavy, and you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. God gonna work that thing all the way out. God gonna work it all the way out. And there's nothing you can stop and do to stop it. There's nothing hell can do to stop it, although hell wants to. There's nothing hell can do to stop it. They done tried. The devil had bidding wars. He done told God he'll convert some of his best enemies up there over to Christ if he can have you. Do you know that the devil is having bidding wars about you? He hoping that he can get one of his or a whole bunch of his to get you. He wants you. He wants you so bad. He want to destroy everything in your life. He can't stand the way God favoring you. He can't stand that you God's best choice. He can't stand it. But he better sit down if he can't stand up and stand it. He better sit down and take it. Because that ain't stopping God from doing nothing. All that snitching the devil did still ain't stopping God. It still ain't. Baby, if you can't stand it, sit down. I got a chair for you. Go on, sit down. If you can't stand what God doing for me in this season, go on ahead and sit down. I got a chair for you. Go on ahead and start telling your enemies you got a chair for them. If they can't stand to see you win, that's okay. You can sit and watch because it ain't going to stop it. You can sit and watch. I got a bed if you need to lay down and catch yourself. They got an ER if you need to have a little heart attack because it ain't going to stop what God got going on. It ain't going to stop it. No, no, no. You can go on, sit down, go breathe, go rest. I know. I know. It's supposed to be you, right? I know. It was you. Yeah, it was your blessing. I know. Cry me a river, the ugly tears. Yeah. Yeah. But that's not gonna stop God from doing what he doing. That's not gonna stop God from doing what he doing. At all. At all. At all. They're about to see you win. They are about to see you win. Baby, they finna be upset. When I tell you they finna be upset, they finna be upset. They finna be watching you. They finna be analyzing you. This your season. This your season. All right, I'm finna get off because I gotta finish the rest of this here and I need to focus because I don't want to be in here all day. No, I'm not trying to do it the way y'all do it. I ain't y'all. I be doing it my way, child. I want a little rough look with some butterfly clips, child. It's gonna look like it's gonna look. Cause just look for me. Just look for me. But just know God finna do something in your life. God finna do something major in your life. And you better be ready. And you better be ready. Ready or not, here God comes. Ready or not, here God comes. And remember how I started it off. Suffer not a witch to live. Suffer not a witch to live. God's about to expose some people. God's about to reveal some people. And he's about to do a grand removal of some people. And you're going to be surprised at who they are. You're going to be surprised. Some of you might have had an inclination of who they are, though, so maybe you might not be surprised. But you're about to see. All right, you guys. I love you all. I'm getting back to finish braiding his head. Hopefully I complete it tonight. If not, whatever. It's cool. But you guys just sit back and watch God work. All right. I love you guys. Y'all have a good night. Doodle, go get them clothes out that dryer. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm trying to finish up this last little break before I hit the stop. So I don't have to finish it out. I hate being on here longer than needed to because you don't want to be playing out here. We in cyberspace. People think you just live. No, you in cyberspace, and sometimes that must be operated by the devil. You don't want to play with the devil. You don't want to get him no room. You don't want to get the devil no room to be playing. All right. Yeah, I love you guys too. Love you guys too. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna hit the end. Cause yeah, I don't play with the devil. I do my 30, 40 minutes and I get on out, Chad. Cause the devil ain't finna play with me. Mm-mm. All right.